that
when you get married,
was caught speeding at almost 200 kilometers per hour a couple of months ago, refused to pay his speeding fine, claiming that everything he does is fast. According to the man, he eats fast, he sleeps fast, he drives fast, he reads fast, and he even walks fast.
Really?
When he had to appear on court today, he explained the same thing to a Western Cape judge, who replied, "Let's see how fast you can do a 6 months in prison."
when you get married, your body does not belong to you anymore. I know y'all are like, ugh. Okay, hear me out. When you get married, it goes from being my money and your money to being our money. It goes from being my parents and your parents to being our parents, right? It goes from being my body and your body to our body. Literally, like biblically, you are conjoined as one flesh when you get married. You are just one body. His body is mine, my body is his. So don't withhold sex because that's not yours to withhold. Does that make sense? When you get married,
operates as that
Alcohol company. Alcohol company. Alcohol company. This is the only company that is not using drunkards, This is the only company that is not using drunkards in advertising their products. They are not using drunkards in advertising their products. Their product, that is alcohol. The big question is the alcohol company ashamed of their customers?
15 rules for men. Never go back to the woman who cheated you. Never let a woman disrespect you.
Take the next right onto
Never
Grove
shake
End
a hand
Road.
sitting down. Never go broke to impress others. Never eat the last piece of something you didn't buy. Always have ambition to be better. Protect who's behind you and respect who's beside you. Take 1 to 3 seconds pause after getting asked a
In
question.
300 yards,
Don't
turn
wait for
left
a
onto Waverley
relationship.
Place.
Work out at least 4 times a week. If you are not invited, don't ask to go. Always carry a cash. Dress well no matter what the occasion. Listen, nod, and most of all make eye contact. Find multiple ways to make money. 15 rules
Turn
for
left
men.
onto Waverley Place,
Never go
then
back to
Waverley
the
Place turns right and becomes Finchley Place.
Christopher Columbus was a black Jew.
His name is not Columbus. His real name is Salvador Zarco. Christopher Columbus was known as a quote-unquote Marrano. The Marranos are those that were forced to convert to Roman Catholicism, that were Sephardim. And
Jews are divided into Sephardim and Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi Jews are Khazarian, making them Jews by religious conversion
In 100
through their
yards,
prince
Waverley
Khazar,
Place turns right
and
and
not
becomes
by
Finchley
blood, like the
Place.
Sephardim, descendants of the original Jews. As for the Sephardim,
Don't ever let your parents give you that house. Instead, do what the rich do. Son, I'm retiring and I'm giving you the house. Dad, you're tweaking. Don't put that in my name. What? Do you not want the house? Of course I do, but you've owned the house for a really long time. And the
Continue
property
on
value has
Finchley
appreciated a
Place
lot.
for
Which
half a
means if you
mile.
was to transfer the house to my name today, I'll be responsible for paying all the capital gain taxes on the property when I sell it. Okay, so what should I do? Just put it in a living trust and add me as the beneficiary. So when you are alive in 30 years, I can inherit the property tax-free through the stepped-up in cost basis. Okay, so don't transfer assets in your kid's name. Open up a trust instead. Exactly, so that way we pay no taxes and create generational wealth. Wow, son, who taught you all this? I simply just followed the Melanin King. Don't ever let your parents give you their house. Instead, do what the rich do. Son, I'm retiring and I'm giving you the house. Dad, you're tweaking. Don't put that in my name. What? Do you not want the house? Of course I do, but you've owned the house for a really long time and the property value has appreciated a lot. Which means if you was to transfer the house in my name today, I'll be responsible for paying all the capital gain taxes on the property when I sell it. Okay, so what should I do? Just put it in a living trust and add me as the beneficiary. So when you unalive in 30 years, I can hear the property tax free through the stepped up in cost basis. Okay, so don't transfer assets in your kid's name. Open up a trust instead. Exactly, so that way we pay no taxes and
What is something that doesn't sit right with you?
I'm about to read you this word for word so you don't have to. This information is very researchable. Between 1502 and 1503, Caesar Borgia hired Leonardo da Vinci to be an architect and engineer, in which him and Leonardo da Vinci became intimate lovers in a homosexual relationship. Expressing his love for Caesar, Leonardo painted pictures of him. Caesar's father, Rodrigo Borgia, who later became Pope Alexander VI, under the authority of the Catholic Church elite, had his son's picture up as Jesus Christ in the Western world, and ordered every picture of a black Jesus destroyed. Caesar also had relations with his own sister, Lucrezia, and killed his own brother, Giovanni, in 1497. And this is the man whom the Catholic Church gave their consent to allow his picture to be put up, and to be portrayed as Jesus Christ.
In 300 yards, slide left onto Finchley Road, A41.
What is something that doesn't sit right with you?
I'm about to read you.
That says, if this book was taken and was originally written in Aramaic, and when it was written in Aramaic, it was translated into Latin. It was before Latin. It was actually Greek, as the Septuagint, and the Septuagint had 70 so-called prophets. Yes, Septuagint. They wrote the Septuagint and created the very first book.
Continue on Finchley Road for 1.5 miles.
"40 years ago, marriage was easy, divorce was hard. Nowadays, divorce is easy and being married is tough. 40 years ago, children respected their parents' decisions. Now parents respect their children's decision. 40 years ago, only one person was enough to support the whole family. Now we all have to work to support our family. 40 years ago, people were happy with...
Ready for the thumping, ready for the thumping, ready for the thumping. Bad girls step out and stunting. My ties them tick like pumpkin. Look upon me, big body jumping. My money tick like a palm dumpling. Remix style of the vocal range. I'm beautiful, so me not play. Me no fear, me no chatter, me no idol. Me money make a girl act suicide. That fake like me weave them. Oh Lord, y'all say she bad, me no believe them. Rich, watch how me a big. Ready for the thumping, ready for the thumping, ready for the thumping.
This is what Dr. Bruce Stewart have to say about the Greeks in his 2011 lecture.
If you read what the Greeks said, not what we think, but if you read what the Greeks said they got everything from Egypt. They got all their knowledge from Egypt. Pythagoras spent 15 years in Egypt. Now, when did we come up with the idea that the Greeks created everything from scratch? Well, believe it or not, it happened in the 18th and 19th century. And it's an unfortunate fact of life that Romanticism, which has many great things about it, also has a dark side, which has to do with racism. And in the 18th and 19th century, it was decided that it was just not appropriate for all this knowledge to come from an African country.
This is what Dr. Bruce Stewart have to say about the Greeks in his 2011 lecture.
If you read what the Greeks...
Who controls the medical field? The big pharmas, the biggest mafia ever. That's why they will never create a medication to heal. They will create a medication to cause a side effect, to heal one thing and cause 100 million things bad in your body. In other words, to keep you stuck to that doctor of yours. And the more you go, the sicker you become. And the biggest money maker is chemotherapy. There is cure for cancer. There is cure. God, the Almighty God, has placed everything which the body needs in Mother Nature, in the plants, in the trees, in the shrubs, and everywhere. There's medication, natural, organic, that can make your immune system, which is the most powerful defense mechanism which God, through His wisdom, put in every human body's that immune system. There are so many things you can make this immune system strong. Nothing can touch you. Who controls the medical field?
Here's a side hustle I wish I knew part 2. And this one is for the broken lazy people. Step 1, you want to go to Etsy.com and then type in t-shirt in the search bar. There are a ton of listings and I'm just going to click on a random one. With this listing, you can see the seller has created a very simple product. This t-shirt is being sold for almost $12 and this store has made over 181,000 sales. When I multiply the cost of the product by the number of sales, you can see that they have made over $2 million. And the crazy part is 100% profit. I'm going to show you how you can do it. Now you want to go to Printify and make a free account. Then go through the catalog and find a t-shirt you like. Then you want to go over to Canva, make a simple design like this. And once you finish your design, you want to go back and put it on the t-shirt. Then in your Printify settings, connect your Etsy account. Then you go back to Etsy and set up your listing. And when someone buys your product, Etsy sends the order straight to Printify. Printify does all the work and ships it straight to the customer. All you do is sit back and collect the difference. If you want to learn about my favorite side hustle that makes me 5 figures per month, follow and see my profile. Here's a side hustle I wish I knew part 2.
They realized that if we take away Africans from practice and move them to theory, we will be creating a labor force for ourselves. So they brought a school system which did not promote thinking but promoted remembering. Say that again. They brought a school system which did not promote thinking but promoted remembering for the sake of creating good employees who don't think but can remember. Okay? Right. So they brought a school system where you learned useless things. Homo habilis. Who was Shaka's mother? What is the longest river in Africa? Tell me, what is the use of that rubbish? Okay? So you went into school and you were studying how many times Muslims pray per day. Yeah. You wake up at night to study how many times Muslims pray per day. So you memorize photosynthesis. You memorize how many teeth a dog has. You memorize everything. And at the end of the day, what did they produce? They produced someone who was a container of useless knowledge. A container of useless knowledge. That is why today we have doctors who have been independent for 55 years. They realized that if we take away Africans from practice and move them to theory, we will be creating a labor force for ourselves. So they brought a school system which did not promote thinking but promoted remembering. Say that again. They brought a school system.
In 200 yards, turn left onto Hendon Way, A41. Take the next left onto Hendon Way, A41.
And you are sexually too stubborn. Some of you wives, you are very submissive in the house.
Continue on A41 for 3 miles.
Outside, you are submissive.
3 ways that you can help heal your eyesight naturally. Pay attention. Now, first you want to get rid of your glasses. A lot of people do not realize, but glasses don't make your eyesight better. They make your eyesight worse, and your eyes literally have to adjust to the lens. And that's why a lot of people have headaches and all type of stuff when their eyes are adjusted. Your eyes have to adjust to anything is basically meaning that your eyesight is getting worse. Your eyesight is probably worse than it was before you even needed glasses. You want to eat walnuts and Brazilian nuts on a daily if you could. They have something called selenium in it. And selenium, they help protect the lenses of your eye. I have something called glutamine. And glutamine is something that helps repair nerve cells. You want to eat a lot of mushrooms and a lot of green leafy vegetables. They have something in it that helps relax those tissues in the eyes. Some herbs that are directly for the eyes, such as eye bright, and there's a couple other herbs. But these herbs, they help increase the blood flow to the retina, and also it helps drain that mucus that's in your head region area. Because a lot of people don't understand the reason why you can't see is because you have a lot of mucus built up in your head, broken down. It has to be drained out in order for you to start seeing better. Share this with a friend, like and follow for more everyday content. Peace and love.
Put your hair lined up, yeah.
Love me style, let me smell me come run to my mind. Love me style, let me smell me come run to my mind. Me don't love man, so don't love me. Me get y'all easy like do Remy. Me want to out the halfway tree. Me overdo it, unruly just spaceship far from them can't see.
Let me tell you something. If most women had their father bold enough to talk to them, they will be very successful in their marriage and they'll be very happy people. Most women have never been taught by their parents, their fathers particularly. That's the biggest problem. They don't know who a man is. They think he's another woman. You see, in a marriage, you have the man who is the head of that union. And because he's the head of that union, it is important to understand him. Now you think he's the one that needs to understand his wife. That is where you're wrong. He will. But until you know who you have married, the man that you came, it's like working for somebody and not knowing what he wants. It's like serving somebody and not knowing what he wants. When you say that you're marrying a man, you are coming under his authority. The Bible says the man is the head of the woman. So when you marry him, you're coming under his authority. You are not authority sharers, even though you are both heirs to the kingdom of God. Because then, let me tell you something.
To start with, when the colonizers came to Africa, we didn't have the issue of color. Black and white did not exist in our languages. We were Africans. The missionaries were sent in with specific instructions to make the Africans believe that everything African was bad and everything European was better and more desirable. They put in motion a process of making us dislike that which was ours and go all out to embrace what the new invader was bringing to our beloved continent. I have to give it to them. They did a very good job at doing that. They hit us where it hurt the most, the mind. The missionaries taught us about white angels. The missionaries taught us about the devil who was black. The missionaries are white, like the angels, and that when we go to church, we must worship the white angels, and definitely want nothing to do with the black devil who looks like us. Subliminal messaging. Subliminal messaging. That's where we began the self-hate, the mistrust of each other, the lack of appreciation, an idea that is coming from your brother, an idea that is coming from your sister, because we are taught to dislike anything to do with. To start with, when the colonizers came to Africa, we didn't have the issue.
This is how you become financially free. It's not Amazon, it's not e-commerce, it's not drop shipping, it's not multi-family real estate, it's not becoming a social media influencer. This is exactly how I stopped worrying about money and began doing whatever I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So if you want to become financially free, number one, you need to be making some kind of income, either from a job or a business. Number 2, you need a bank account. Inside that bank account, you have a checking and a savings. You need to keep your monthly expenses in your checking and $2,000 in your savings. From there, you need a credit card. Get a cashback credit card with a credit limit of exactly what your monthly expenses are, the same number as what's in your checking. Then you need a high yield savings account. You're going to keep 6 to 12 months of your expenses in this account. Then once you get there, stop saving, because then you're going to take the rest of that money, open up an investment account like a Roth IRA, and invest up to $500 per month there. And then lastly, get you some life insurance. You're going to need about 10 times your income in life insurance. Then once you figure out how to automate that entire thing, that's going to be your quickest path to financial freedom. Like and follow for more. This is how you become financially free. It's not Amazon, it's not e-commerce, it's not drop shipping, it's not multi-family real estate, it's not becoming a social media influencer. This is exactly how I stopped worrying about money and began doing whatever I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So if you want to become financially free, number 1, you need to be making some kind of income, either from a job or a business. Number 2, you need a bank account. Inside that bank account, you have a checking and a savings. You need to keep your monthly expenses in your checking and $2,000 in your savings. From there, you need a credit card. Get a cashback credit card with a credit limit of exactly what your monthly expenses are, the same number.
Just type.
This is how.
He came out to show that.
Yeah, hello there. Yes, I'm where you actually need to. Where are you? My left?
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Aerodrome Road.
Yes, I'm where you actually need to.
My mother told me, she said, you never hit a man where he's never. It could be true, it could be real, but you don't hit him where he's weak, because it'll turn around on you. You can get him to do what you need him to do, but you never hit a man where he's weak, because they never forget it. It lives with them. And so I know what his weaknesses are. He don't know I know they're there. Because I don't mention them, don't talk about them, and I don't. My mother told.
Here's the next book, Pictorial History of Israel. Let's go inside.
Who controls the medical field? The big farmers, the wise women.
There is a city no.
If you want to fall asleep quick,
It took me 9 years to learn this, but I'm going to show you guys in 3 minutes, part 1.
before you take any drugs for high blood pressure, you should always request further tests. And these tests aren't to undermine your doctor, but to help you advocate for yourself. The 2 tests that you should request from your doctor is a red blood cell mineral test along with the cardiovascular risk panel, and here's why. The red blood cell mineral test evaluates your intracellular mineral status. Your blood pressure is controlled by specific minerals, and if there's any imbalance, they will be pinpointed in this specific test. A cardiovascular risk panel will identify cardiac markers that will show how much of a risk you have for cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease is the end game for
Turn
high
left
blood
onto
pressure.
Aerodrome
And if your
Road.
risks are high, this test will show you how important it is to make these lifestyle changes. Taking both of these tests will allow you to see your deficiencies and see your risks and allow you to correct them. And when you understand both of these things, you're in a better
Continue on
position
Aerodrome
mentally
Road for half
to
a mile.
overcome the problem. Click the link in my bio to access my high blood pressure breakdown so you can understand what you're missing when it comes down to controlling your blood pressure. Before you take any drugs for high blood pressure, you should always request.
Plato's 4 virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, was actually copied from the original Kemetic belief system. These can also be found in the Kemetic Book of the Dead. Pythagoras studied in Kemet for 22 years. He studied geometry, astronomy, medicine, and theology under Kemetic high priests. He was shown proof of the theorem of the square on the hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle. Africans were using that principle 1,000 years before.
I'm about to teach you a major secret that's going to help you get deletions on your credit report. Other credit repair companies don't want me to tell you this, so you got to keep it on the low low. Go to Experian.com and click on Reports and Scores, then click on Credit Reports. Scroll down and click on any one of your accounts. Select
In 200
Dispute
yards,
this account.
at the
It's going
roundabout,
to take you to a
take
page
the
that
third
looks like
exit
this.
onto
You want
Graham
to copy
Park
the
Way.
10-digit report number. Do not dispute any accounts online. This is just to get the number. Go to this web address.